Hi everybody, Ben Myers here. We're going to try some constructed videos now. We have a little bit extra time, and with the movie that just came out, Rise of Skywalker, we have The First Order, of course. This one is an aggressive, an aggressive, almost mid-range, like not like breakneck aggressive like some Japanese decks can be, but definitely more on the aggressive side of the mid-range scale. And it's really based mostly around the Alpine mechanic. And the Alpine mechanic, if you don't know what it is when an Alpine unit is deployed or added, it gets +1/+1 for each other Alpine unit you control. And then some of them have these deployment abilities on them, like the Alpini regiment here. Or the second Alpini regiment. So we have the full four of the third Alpini regiment, and then we have the full three of the second Alpini. And then we have the 141st for the Germans that cannot be targeted by enemy orders, which is a little dangerous. And then we have the Eastern Front bound. We have two copies of that in here. I've also tinkered around with the Italian artillery, the OBCDA 7513. I've gone back and forth on which one I really prefer. Um, if you don't have maybe the more specials, you can go Eastern Front bound and kind of keep the Alpine thing going. Up to you. But I'm going to just run through the curve here quick, which I'll just give you a quick shot of right here. We're obviously very aggressive, and we're very unit focused versus orders focused. So down here at the bottom of the curve, we kind of have our aggressive game plan here between Panzer II-As and L640s. Yes, the L640 does have this destruction ability where all your friendly units have to retreat. We kind of use that ability in interesting ways in this deck. But a one deploy zero operate tank with a combined arms on it is something that can be really difficult for a lot of decks to deal with. Then we have, our Alpinis that we talk about, the two-drop German tanks between the Wirbelwind and the Panzer 35T. Then we have our card draw engine, and this is a really, really important part of this deck. The 21st or 22nd Infantry Regiment and the 2nd Alpini Regiment. One thing this deck is hurt by is that it runs out of cards very quickly. You could use Enigmas in this spot or in a similar spot. I found that the 22nd works better for my playstyle and how I use this deck. I did have Enigmas in here at one point, so that's an option for you. Then we get up to the quote unquote higher end of our curve, which is these Panzer III-Es, some ME or Messerschmitt Bf 110s, the Hummels, and then the Panzer IV F2. These are really in here. The Hummels and the Panzer IV F2s can give us a really big tempo edge if our opponent gets a big guard unit or something like that out. 110 is a really solid finisher if you can control the front line. Panzer III-Es go really well with our Blitz tank package that we have here between the twos and the one spots. So this deck is aggressive. For our strategy, just to talk about it quickly, is we're aggressive. We want to get out. We want to get the front line. Hopefully get an infantry regiment or a couple Alpinis online so we can get some card draw and then finish things up with a big 110 or the tempo boost from a Panzer IV F2. You'll also notice I don't have any elite units in here. This deck could, if you have elite units like the Nachschub, like the Adler command vehicle, like Fast Heinz, like the Fallschirmjäger, even the autocannon from the deep. Comet could fit in this deck. Admiral Hipper, the Panzer III-L, they could all fit in this deck for sure. These higher end ones for the Germans probably not so much, but anything six and under for German elites, except maybe Lurking Danger, doesn't really do anything in this deck. But all the rest of these could definitely get in here. I kind of wanted to make a more budget version for this one. But yeah, we want to be aggressive. We want to play our Alpine units, and there's a lot of secret modes for the L640 that it will kind of go over along the way. But let's get to some gameplay, and we'll kind of talk more L640 as we get going here. So let's get some games in. But the L640 is interesting in that you can kind of reuse deployment abilities, so you turn kind of the disadvantage of that card into an advantage, or you can use the Alpinis and like redraw, which is really good. We're up against Phenomenon to start, and we don't want to see any of these in our opening hand. We want our nice low drops. These are all cards we want to top deck later on. Okay, couple Alpinis. Okay, this is a pretty good starting five for us. L640 is really good against aggressive Japanese decks. We also get a 22nd infantry regiment, so we can get our card draw engine going early. So that's why I'm going to start with an L640 here. Next turn, drop this 22nd and kind of hopefully outcard our opponent because they didn't get off to a very quick start. We'll see though. We'll see. So opponent thinking it over here. And we're going to hold this other L640. Alright, so they have a Katie, so we're happily going to blow that Katie up. Yeah, we'll trade here for this Katie. And then this allows us to get an Alpini. And let's drop a Panzer II-A. Because now we have options for our card draw between second Alpinis and the 22nd. Alright, that's trouble though that our opponent got the 28 centimeter out there. But we can work through it. So let's see. Let's go with the second Alpini. Okay, now we can at least put it back in our opponent's hand. Let's grab the front line. So let's see if we can. We haven't played against. You know, you don't usually see 28 centimeter in most decks, like constructed decks. Well, I found this to be more of a draft card. So we'll see. All right, so they take out our Alpini. All right, and then they have a Katie too. Okay, well, big pains in the butt out there that our opponent has, but now we can use this L640 to take out a Katie. And even if our opponent makes us put these back in our hand, we get more card draw out of it, which we're happy with. I mean, we would like to keep the Panzer on the battlefield, I think, so we'll move that up. Have to imagine our opponent's going to go after our L640 here. And a desperate measures from our opponent, so that was like the exact opposite of what we wanted to see. Okay, so exactly perfectly the opposite card that we wanted to see there. So let's go and draw another card, see if we can get through this. Okay, we finally found a Panzer III-E, which can blitz in and take care of this 28 centimeter. So let's see if we can take care of that. Alright, so opponent's chewing through our cards, but we do have our engine ready to rock once we can get it going. Alright, so, okay, and an Akita regiment. We're not really worried about an Akita so much. Alright, let's Panzer away the 28 centimeter. Get some tempo back. Alright, 28 centimeter back. But we can, now we can Hummel it. Okay, can't Hummel it because they have the hammer. But we can Panzer it out of the way. So let's do that. Let's take out this Akita. Alright, good. We're fine with our Panzer taking that little bit of damage. So see if we can work through this one. Alright, another Akita. And the coastal howitzer is back. 16th rifles. Okay. Alright, Hummel, get to work. Put the howitzer back in our opponent's hand again. here, I think we're going to try and just spread the damage around a little bit. Let's take the Akita out with a Panzer. Alright, they get our Alpini, so that kind of stunk. But let's just drop another Alpini down. Okay, let's see if our opponent's going to give us the front line here. We really kind of want to see the front line. Alright, the brigade, sure. And there's that stupid howitzer again. Okay, so now let's use our Panzer III-E. Let's see, do we have enough credits to do this here? We don't really, but we can take out the brigade. Let's see, let's grab the front line, force our opponent to deal with that, and let's draw a card with the Alpini. Okay, so we get our Eastern Front bound. So let's see. I mean, our opponent can't hit our Panzer III-E because it's got smokescreen. I would imagine they attack with the 16th Rifles and then use the 28 centimeter on our Panzer. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, a bombing raid. Okay, not very helpful. Alright, and they have the 15th Cav. Okay. Alright, well, we've been trying to just get to the stupid 28 centimeter. We haven't been able to get there. Alright, let's go with a Panzer II-A. Let's take out the 15th Cav. Then let's take out the rifles. Well, let's take, let's send Eastern Front bound there. I shouldn't have done that, should I? Oh well. Well, we could still take out the... I think what we're going to do is this instead. We're going to drop another Alpini. Alright, then we're going to draw a card. Or, well, we drew a card, now we get rid of the rifles. And we'll force our opponent to take out this Panzer II-E. Or II-A, excuse me. Alright, so we still have the smoke screen on our Panzer III-E. We're about to get our card draw engine, so we can just bury our opponent in cards, hopefully. This 28 centimeters been very difficult for us to deal with, but hopefully our opponent's out of ways to take out our blitz tanks. Plus, if we score a Panzer II-E, or Panzer 35T, a WIRBELWIND, any of that stuff, we're good to go. Alright, so they take out our II-A, they from the people us, alright, and a Workers Unite. Jeez Louise. Opponent's just got all the answers here. Alright, so now I think we're going to just start dropping some Alpinis, make them big. And we're going to get our, let's see, we're going to get our Panzer II-A going. And then we're going to hopefully get our card draw engine going here. Draw 2 cards this turn. Let's get in for some damage at the opponent's HQ. Okay, a 110 and a combined arms. Alright, well, if our Panzer II-A can make it through, then we're very happy. Alright, Takasagi. Alright, so we're all okay. Opponent's got lots of these 28 centimeters. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get our 110 going. Let's give this Panzer combined arms. And we'll take out the first 28 centimeter. Then I think we're going to move to the front line. And I also think we're going to... No, let's hold this Panzer III-E for the time being. Alright, now we can start getting our 110 going. And our 22nd infantries are getting the job done for us. Alright, Empire of the Sun for our opponent. That kind of hurts. Alright, but they're not they're not destroying our card draw engine, which is very helpful. All right, and another 110 for us, or another combined arms. So let's see. This will make this a 7-5 right now. So I think we do that. Well, do we want to do a 7-5? Yeah, we should do that. We should combine arms again. Alright, now we can take out the Takasaki. Lose our L6, which we weren't going to use anyway. Then let's drop our... I think we gotta start getting in for some damage at this 28 centimeter. Alright, so a couple card draws for us. More combined arms, which this Panzer will enjoy. Panzer III-E. Alright, 0 is going to take out a little bit of our card draw. Alright, they get our 110. Air superiority. Man, our opponents just got it all for us. And a last rights. Okay. Okay. Let's get this Panzer 35T going. Let's put the... I don't really want to put the 0 back in our opponent's hand. Alright, let's put the 28 centimeter back in our opponent's hand. Let's give our Panzer combined arms. Let's take out the 0. And we'll pass the turn back. Draw another card. So let's see. We're on the brink of turning the corner here. We're running out of cards, though. We're really running out of cards. Let's see if we can end this thing relatively quickly. We got our opponent on a 3-turn clock right now. An opponent goes in the tank a little bit. That's good. Excuse me. So an Osaka regiment would be a pain in the butt. First kamikaze, sure. Tora. Alright, that hurts because it takes out our card draw. Now an amphibious assault, of course. Our opponent has had like every single possible removal order you could have. Alright, well, let's go 140 first. Panzer. We finally get rid of the stupid 28 centimeter. Now let's get in for some HQ damage. We gotta rely on the top of our deck here. Alright, so... Ugh, another Empire of the Sun. Yuck. That might be the ball game for us there. And another 28 centimeter. Alright, well, we got the Panzer off the top, so put that back in our opponent's hand. Grab the front line. We should have another Hummel. We should have another Panzer IV. So, let's see. Alright, Type 93. And a cavalry. Okay. Alright. And a stupid coastal howitzer. Another kamikaze. Alright, Wirbelwind for us. So now we use our Wirbelwind to take out the plane. And we just have to take out this stupid 28 centimeter. Because otherwise it's just going to tear us apart. But that's going to do it for us here. We're down to 5 cards. Yeah, and they got a Hein, so, okay. Yep, well, frustrating game there. Very frustrating to play against the full complement of 28 centimeter cannons that you don't usually see all that much. So frustrating, but you know, you can't win every single game. I will say that this deck is, well, it's got a chance in every game. The elites would definitely help it out quite a bit, but it's not a perfect deck. There's many, we really need that frontline control. Okay. All right, an Alpini Regiment, a 22nd. Okay, we'll throw a Panzer back. Playing against another Japanese player here, so let's see what happens. All right, stupid cavalry regiments. They're always a pain, and we have a bunch of combined arms that we can't use. Okay, so we get a Panzer II-A though, so we can make a little bit of a rally here. All right, looks like we're up against a resistance deck. Okay, we've seen those. All right, so a trade. We'll take a trade. Okay, so here we're going to go Panzer 35T. We got to race our opponent, essentially. We'll combined arms. Yeah, let's get him for 4. And let's see if a 4-4, potentially a 6-6 Panzer can get the job done for us. Alright, we force our opponent to do a naval operations. Okay. Alright, well, we can still go with a Panzer II-A. Get that in the front line. Give that combined arms. And get him for 3. So now we have our opponent on a 2-turn clock. Plus we can get our card draw engine going with a 22nd. Alright, now they're naval operations. Okay, but our opponent ships it right back to us. Okay, well, let's go with the 22nd. We've dodged 2 naval operations. We might as well get these resistances out of our hand, too. Alright, Hummel would have been nice, but not required. WIRBELWIND would have been nice, but not required. Still a 2-turn clock for our opponent. This is right where we want to be. Alright, Akita. Hopefully our... we really wanted our 22nd to dodge that, but... ah, well. Alright, and we get they get an expeditionary corps. Okay. Alright, let's get in for 3. We're gonna drop another Panzer, get some more frontline control, get rid of this other resistance just in case they have like the sabotage. We would have liked to have a 110, but this Hummel and this Panzer should give us, hopefully put us over the top for tempo. So we'll see, no Takasagi regiments, no Osaka regiments, no big guards, no Chinus, please. Alright, a 0 is fine. Okay, so they take out our Alpini, but we're fine with that. Alright, and a WIRBELWIND. I think that might do it for us here. Alright, let's go. Get in for 3. Get in for 5. Get in for 6. And we might as well grab the front line with another unit. Alright, so now even if our opponent does have a guard of some kind, we have all kinds of tempo to get us across the finish line. Alright, Ancient Empire, not very helpful. Alright, but we do get a Panzer III-E, so I think that does finish it up for us. So, yep, that'll win it for us right here, which is good. Opponent gives it up. Alright. So, kind of shows how fast and aggressive you have to be with this one. We were able to outlast the naval operations, which was good. So, you know, like I said, I think you have a good shot, and we're not even gonna bother with this guy's name. I think you have a good shot with this deck every time, but we'll see here. We're playing against a lot of Japanese players too. This deck really chews up British decks, American ramp decks. You got a really good. That's kind of like the rock paper scissors stuff. Oh, it looks like we have a fellow Alpine. All right. Well, let's do. Let's draw a card with our Alpine regiment. Okay, Hummel's not very helpful, I don't think, just yet, but let's see what our opponent has. And I'll be interested to see if they put Alpine in other factions in the future. That'd be really interesting. I'm sure there's some Japanese units or some American units that could be Alpine units. Okay. So here, I think we're going to go Panzer, take the front line, go combined arms, just to hold the front line for a little bit. Next turn we get our 110 going, then go right into a Hummel maybe. We'll see. I passed on. I had the 186 Fulgore in for a while, and I found it just wasn't high enough impact because most of the other Alpine units don't have blitz, so they can't get into the front line right away. So this ambush doesn't really help as much. All right, Akita for our opponent. All right, they hit our HQ, so that's fine. Okay, that's all our opponent has. Well, that's pretty good. All right, I think we go, in this case, we go with another combined arms on our Panzer. Get in for 5 at our opponent's HQ, and the enemy gives it up. Okay, so good top deck for us there, but I think it shows how quick this deck can move, and that's good. So yeah, you really want to take on ramp decks. This deck does pretty well against commando decks too, because you have a lot of units with a lot of defense that can chew up commando damage. Another Japanese player though, so an L6 might work against a Japanese player. We'll see. Hopefully we get something to use. All right, so we don't get anything to use our Alpini on, but hopefully we'll draw into something. All right, so an L6 gives us a little bit of a head start even on a Japanese player. All right, so they don't have anything, so maybe we'll just get in for another one, and we'll use this Panzer to maybe chew up a Careless Talk. Okay, even better. So now we want to see, let's see, combined arms would be fine. Another Alpine unit to let us draw would be good. All right, nothing from our opponent there. Hummel is not what we wanted to see. But we can get another Panzer in the front line, so that's good. So let's might as well do that. So here, yeah, we want to see... Alright, that stupid coastal howitzer is back. Alright, well, we get this Panzer 35T, and that can help take it out. So let's take out the stupid howitzer. Yep, we have to retreat, but we don't really get hurt by that retreat so much. Alright, Takasagi is going to be a problem. But here, let's take the front line, get our card draw engine going. Hopefully that'll push us over the top. Alright, now we get an Alpini, and we can drop a 110 to give us a little more presence. We get this Hummel to move the Takasagi back into our opponent's hand. Alright, fortification, sure. Alright, I think here we'll go... I think here we'll go Hummel. Get some tempo. And now the Hummel can start working on our opponent's stuff. Alright, Takasagi's back. Alright, it's the only thing our opponent has though. Okay. So here we're going to go with a 110. Then we're going to put combined arms on our Panzer. then we're going to just get in at our opponent's HQ. So now our stuff starts to grow. Another fortification. Okay, that's all our opponent has, and we're happy with that. We'll go with a Panzer to put the Takasagi back in our opponent's hand. And we'll get in for 5 at our opponent's HQ. Now our 110 is getting really big. Our opponent has a full hand, which means they can do stuff. Alright, we lose our 22nd, but that's okay. It did its job. Alright, now our opponent takes away our juiced up Panzer, but it did its job. Let's go with a Wirbelwind. Grab the front line with our Wirbelwind. Let's see, do we have any infantry? We do, so let's drop an infantry out here just to get a little extra buff on our combined arms. Get in for 6 at our opponent's HQ, and then another 5 after that. And, our opponent's going to need, they have that Takasagi, but now our 110 is big enough to rumble with it. Alright, another naval operation. Takasagi. Okay. Well, I think we're okay, like, discarding any of this stuff. We kind of want to put our other 110 down, but I think it's more important to just keep the pressure on our opponent. We lose an eastern bound. Okay, eastern front. That's fine. Alright, so opponent's going to have to find something and find something in a hurry here. And we're up against Su Wen GX. Alright, carpet bombing doesn't take out all of our stuff. And we get our Panzer back. Okay, so let's grab the front line. Get in for 7 more on our opponent. Let's drop another 110. Get in for 1 more at our opponent, and let's drop this Alpini regiment just to set up some. Oh, we might as well grab a card too. So we'll grab a card with our other Alpini. Okay, now we have a Panzer to give us the tempo we need to take out any guard unit. Multiple lethal threats for us. Alright, lightning for our opponent, and a Chinook. That's totally fine. Now we go Panzer. Oh, no. Take it easy. We go Panzer to take out the Chinook. And then get in for our last bits of damage there. And tempo our opponent out of it. So there we go. I mean, I think that game is kind of like the perfect expression of what this deck is supposed to do. And it chews up these kind of big... what you call them? Oh, that's nice. Big guard unit trying to do like these crazy things. We fought through what, 2 fortifications, or maybe that was a different game. But let's try one more with this one. I mean, I think that makes us what, 3-1 with this deck. But I think we've got a really good example that last game of the synergies that this deck creates. Right up against Milan and another Japanese player. Okay, we're going to throw both this 110 and this combined arms back. Okay. Alright, so we'll go with our Alpini to start. Get our Panzer going early. Alright, let's get this Panzer 35T going. Get in for an attack. So we'll see. Opponent didn't do anything on turn 1. 5th Brigade on turn 2. Okay. Alright, so let's see if we can punch through an early guard unit here. Another good opportunity for us to try and do that. Alright, so we get it back. Another Alpini. Okay. Well, let's put combined arms on our first Panzer. Get in for a big attack. Then let's draw a card. We get another Panzer. Okay, so here we kind of want to keep seeing either a string of Panzers or a string of combined arms. Alright, Akita coming in. Alright, that hits our HQ, so that's fine. Okay, I don't think we want to waste this 4 damage, so we're going to instead go with a Panzer 35T. Take out the guard unit. Get in for 4 at our opponent's HQ. And right now we're dancing on the razor's edge here a little bit because we kind of need a card draw engine. We either need to see another Alpini or a 22nd. Alright, more guard units for our opponent. Alright, a Panzer helpful. And a Hummel isn't bad either. So, let's see. I think we're gonna... Or a 110. We'd like to see a 110 as well. Alright, we gotta start getting in for some damage on our opponent's stuff. Let's use this Panzer to get another point in for us. Might as well get it in on that little fella. And take that out and take... Oh, and then take out this other guard unit. Okay, come on now. Yeah, we want to see a 110 off the top, a 22nd infantry, any of that stuff. We even take a second Alpini just to draw another card. Alright, we got the bomber. Deadly duty, so all our stuff is pinned, but that's fine. Alright, and the cavalry. Alright, well we take the cavalry out. Okay, well we might as well just get in with this Panzer, hold our Hummel, hold our Panzer IV. We'd love to see a combined arms. There's so much stuff off top of our deck that we really want to see here. Alright, a Type 94. Another 5th Brigade. And a Me Too. Okay. Alright, here we're... Okay, we're going to use this Hummel to put the guard back in our opponent's hand. We get in at their HQ, we take out their little tank, and pass it back. So looks like we might have to nickel and dime our way to the finish line here. I mean, one combined arms makes us look like champions. Alright, fortification. And we really don't want to have to nickel and dime our way to the finish line here. We really want to... Alright, WIRBELWInd. Yeah, I'm going to put this Panzer down, put the 5th Brigade back in our opponent's hand. Take out Me Too. Get in for 1. Probably should have moved this Alpini up. But now we have a Panzer on the battlefield too. But we're just a touch, like we're not finding our big finishing punch. We're allowing our opponent to just hang around in this game. Alright, surprise attack. Yep. Alright, an Alpini at least draws us a card. Alright, there's our 22nd. So, hopefully our opponent's running out of gas here. Let's get in for 2 at our opponent's HQ. Alright, might as well poke the 5th Brigade for a point too. Alright, now we're going to get to draw some cards. Hopefully we'll draw our way out of this thing. Because, yeah, like I said, just a combined arms or a 110 or even this Panzer can really just sway the rest of this game, but our opponent could have a million different things. Alright, they don't take out our card draw engine though, so that's fantastic. Alright, I'm more okay losing the Alpini if they have a countermeasure of some kind. Alright, let's combined arms up our guy there. Okay, let's get a WIRBELWIND into the front line. So now our opponent is... Let's get rid of their 5th Brigade. let's get in for 2 at their HQ. So now all of our opponent's planes are pinned as well. And now we get an eastern front. All right, to the last man. All right, so opponent has the 10 spot, which, I mean, good for our opponent. They got, what, a 5-for-1 out of it? Oof, that hurt. Okay, well, just gotta... Looks like we're just nickel and diming our way to the finish line here. Drop the Alpini. We're going to hold on to this Eastern Front bound, see if we can find something a little bit better. Lend-Lease. Alright, well, we're down to the mercy of our top decks here. Alright, so they hit the Susie. Alright, so they pin our stuff. So opponent is playing the long game here. Alright, combined arms. Okay, we're just going to hold our combined arms just to surprise, hopefully, our opponent with it. Ugh, that... Another fortification, sure. So let's see if we can keep grinding through. Our opponent's trying to just grind us out of this. See if we can just find something that gets us the rest of the way there. Alright, Type 94. Because we've been right on the brink of coming back. Okay. Alright, an L6. Okay. Let's see. Let's take the front line with the L6. Let's get our combined arms on the L6. Take out their Me Too regiment. Let's get in for 3 damage at our opponent's HQ. Take the front line. We're going to hold on to this Eastern front bound here. I mean, our opponent, we've forced our opponent to use all their tricks. Alright, another Susie. Another Lend-Lease. Alright. So our opponent's they gotta be almost out of ammunition here. Surprise attack. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Alright, and we get our card draw engine back, which is very helpful. So let's get that down. We don't mind being pinned. We're pinned anyway, so let's take the bomber out. Here we might... we'll hold it for one more turn. There's really no reason to use it just yet. Alright, now we got 2 of them, so we might as well use it. Alright, Akita, sure. Imperial Decree, okay. Orders give +1 damage, okay. Tora. Ugh. Shoot, should have used it. Alright, we keep our L6. We have plenty of blitz tanks. We got plenty of good stuff. We just have not top-decked well. Alright, another fortification. I wonder if our opponent's finisher is like Commonwealth or something like that, since they did have British cards. Alright, let's get our Panzer going. Use our Panzer to take out the other tank, and then let's get in for 4 at our opponent. And then maybe we should have used one of these Eastern fronts earlier, but we have our opponent on a 2-turn clock again. And we have good top decks. We have very good top decks. Alright, so we lose our L6. Alright, last rights. Alright, that also might be a finisher for our opponent. Okay, we get an Alpini. Our 3rd Alpini. Alright, well, we might as well drop that one down. And I think we just got to do this and just draw another one, just in case our opponent has some other silliness, and just put some pressure on our opponent, hopefully. So a couple of 2-3 Alpini regiments. So, oof, desperate measures. Our opponents had all the elites too, so I think this kind of shows, the budget version of our deck. Our opponents played what, like all the elite cards they could play. All right, so we get a 110. I mean, our opponent's deck is a hardcore control deck. Good thing they don't have any Empires of the Sun. But if we can peel a Blitz tank here, right? Kamikaze number one, number two. Oh no, another fortification. Our opponent's played all of them. All right, we're gonna take the front line, get another 110 out there, put it up. Opponent's gotta. I mean, if they just outdraw us here and they had to use multiple elites to beat us, then that's the way it goes. Okay. All right, and we get we get an L6 here. So now we can put our L6 in the front line. Combined arms our L6. So our opponent essentially has to draw all of their kamikazes here, which they might have in hand and they're just toying with us. But they have to go run around. They have to essentially just burn us out here. Oh man. Oh boy. No, it comes down to that top deck. Did that top deck beat us? Okay, surprise attack. And that top deck beat us. So they kind of gave us a little bit of hope there. But all right. Well, we're gonna that one. That one's a little not as frustrating as playing us those 28 centimeters because we know that our deck went toe to toe with them and they had to use a bunch of elites to beat us. So I think that shows kind of the synergy of I'm calling it the first order, but I think it shows the synergy of this deck. We were like one top deck away from beating a very elite heavy control deck with this one. If we'd gotten some of our blitz tanks on different top decks there at the end, or uh, drawn our 110s earlier in the game, all those different things. We forced our opponent to use everything under their command to beat us. So, little frustrating that we don't get the win to finish it off, but I think there's been some really good examples of how well this deck can work. You have the L6 combined arms combo. These Panzer II-A's are pretty nice. So you have your kind of your Blitz light tank combination. Then you have your Alpine stuff. I think you saw how important the 22 Infantry Regiment is, and just sustaining your game here. Eastern Front Bound, that's probably an area that I would consider either upgrading or changing. We didn't get much out of our Eastern Front Bounds. We only saw them in the one game. So I think that might be an area to explore if you're thinking about making this deck. And then the Hummels and the Panzers kind of give you that little bit of boost, little bit of beef up at the top for your 110 to get through, or maybe your Panzer III-E to finish things off. But that's going to do it for this one, everybody. I think this was a nice way to get back into some constructive videos. Got to do some things, and if you have some elites to upgrade this deck, by all means, use those elites. I'll be putting the deck list for this one in the description, so if you want to see the exact numbers that I have in this current build, those are down below. And also, if you're considering, we're trying to, I might as well get to 1,000 subscribers because then we can monetize some of these videos, which would be nice and kind of help sustain what we're trying to do here. But anyway, that's going to do it for us, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for playing. I think we got to see some cool gameplay there. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.